Good morning, everyone. It is July the 13th, 2017, the day before the French national holiday, July the 14th, and I believe President Trump will be there for the Bastille Day parades and celebration. So, big day tomorrow for France and all its ex-colonies, etc. Start with our disclaimer. Hypothetical or simulated performance results have certain limitations. Unlike an actual performance record, simulated results do not represent actual trading. Also, since the trades have not been executed, the results may have under overcompensated for the impact of any of certain market factors, such as lack of liquidity. Simulated trading programs in general are also subject to the fact that they're designed with the benefit of hindsight. No representation is being made that any account winner is likely to achieve profit and losses similar to those shown. We will have another day of Yellen's testimony. One calendar says 10 a.m., the other one says 9:30. So if Yellen sticks to yesterday's script, we should not have a problem. That will impact the equities probably more than our market. Today's big dynamic is the 30-year auction. That usually requires an up market to move the maximum amount of paper that can be moved. So we'll play for a trading range with an up bias today. We have jobless claims, 246. PPI, unchanged. They pay more attention to the PPI number than they do core. Core, plus 0.2. Natural gas plus 59B, and then Yellen's testimony either at 9:30 or 10. The Dow made new highs yesterday. The E-mini is poised within a dime of making new highs itself. So we'll see if that actually happens or not. The news focus will be PPI, direction of ES, and then the 30-year auction. And a PPI of unchanged or less than 0 would be supportive for Treasuries. First sell 23.27, 31 to 03, sell 2. On the buy side, 12 to 16 will be buy 1, and 5 to 9 will be buy 2. Man, it is hot here in Wichita. The humidity is low. We've got the potential for storms over the next couple of days. We could use some rain, even at the expense of higher humidity. But definitely July, in the middle of summer in Kansas. And it's hot enough that Henry, after about 5 to 10 minutes, has had enough outside and comes back in. Don't have to worry about him. You can open the front door and 5-10 minutes later look at on the steps and he's there. Okay, looking at the 30-year, 4 to 8. Number 1, 11 to 15, sell 1. 19 to 23, sell 2. On the buy side, first support band is 24 to 28, so 17 to 21 buy 1, 9 to 13 buy 2. When I was back in DC, the humidity, we had one day in the mid-90s. Really reminded me of East Tennessee. You move differently in that kind of humidity. And being around water does not necessarily cool you off with high humidity. But again, it is summer, and it's supposed to be like that, and you have to take it all in stride and enjoy each season for what it brings. Okay, looking at gold, or I do anyway. Yellen's testimony is not as strong for gold as it is for treasuries. No inflation, worried, concerned about inflation. Less of a reason to own gold. India's back in the marketplace. The first half of the year they imported more gold into India than they did all of last year, so there's some support right there. So we'll just keep the numbers we had last night. 23 to 25, sell 1. It worked out okay last night. 28 to 30, sell 2. 15 to 17, buy 1. And 10 to 12, buy 2. Looking at the euro, some pretty negative articles out. Yesterday the euro started to sell when Canada raised its interest rates. There's some pretty negative articles out about Canada and their debt bubbles for the local and real estate especially. So all is not well, according to yesterday's stories, with Canada. They cited a guy that came out and pointed this out 2 years ago, and they said, well, he was right, but just a little early. And again, it just goes to show you that it all gets down to timing. So 114.15, 114.25, buy 1. 114 even, buy 2. On the sell side, I have a London high at 75, so 65, 75, sell 1. 90 to 115 even, sell 2. Timing is everything. And that's what makes investing and trading so difficult, is because it's pretty easy to see the long-term effects of policy, etc. It's very, very difficult to know just when you should jump in and take advantage of it, because is it just a little pullback, profit taking, or has the move started? And that's what always makes it difficult. And so the holy grail is, how long do you stay with the trade, and or then reverse. Okay, crude articles out. Iraq is cheating. They need the income to rebuild their economy. Nigeria politely said yesterday that they would not voluntarily cut back. Libya and Nigeria are exempt from production quotas. Russia has said that they're not going to cut any more than they've already cut. So we get back down to, what will Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and the other Gulf states do? They're the swing producers as far as OPEC goes. And while it's real easy to point to the American fracking industry and crude oil, which is produced by the frackers, as the mother of all problems, the root of all the trouble that's facing OPEC. Again, these guys will produce as much as they can sell, and when they fight for market share, they will produce whatever amounts equal their market share at any price. So OPEC's just got to come to the realization, without strong economic growth, we're not going to be able to pump as much oil as they'd like to without taking prices lower. funny how that works, right? More supply than demand, prices go down. So crude oil right now, if you look at the break in the market, 46.50 is pretty good resistance, and 44 is minus is pretty good support. We're kind of right in the middle. Crude normally trades the $2 to $3 range. We had this breakout from basically 45, so first buy is going to be 44.75, 45, buy 1. Then 44 and a quarter, 44.25, buy 2. I like the short side better. On the sell side, 45.50, 45.75, sell 1. 46 even, 46 and a quarter, sell 2. Pretty much the same numbers we had yesterday. That happens when you're in a trading range. Fundamentals say the prices should be lower. Okay, the Dow made a new record high yesterday, closing high. That doesn't necessarily mean that the NASDAQ and the E-mini will do the same the following day. Sometimes it takes 2, 3, 4 days for that to happen. But everything is pointed higher. And you can see right now that volume in the overnight session is higher than it was yesterday. Everything is still pointed up. Now, I'd like to buy this area down here, this 35 to 37, pick that up. I don't know if we can get it, so we're going to put a question mark at 24.40. Like to buy 35s to 37s, maybe take the week length out, and 30 to 32. I can't write this morning. Okay to sell failure to take out 45, 47, not really the trade of choice. Then 49 to 51 is just leaning against where resistance is. So go through 51, we're wrong. And I do like the long side better. 49 to 51, as opposed to having a resting limit sell out there at 24.50 where you might get frank trained. Gives you a little wiggle room. And again, just because the Dow makes a new high on one day doesn't mean that the E-mini and the NASDAQ and everything else follows the next day. Sometimes it takes upwards of a week. It's going to take a bit to get everything up and posted. I'm going to get busy on that. I will be back with you as soon as possible.